everyone, my name is BlackWitchDirah. I'm a Luciferian witch of the left-hand path as well as an occult educator. And I'm in my new house and my new workroom, which is just lovely. My setup isn't as elaborate as it was before, but I've got some ideas of how to make it look quite cool, but you know, this is it for now. In this video today I'm going to be talking about my new video series that I will be doing here on YouTube. This is not going to be my regular uploads, it's going to be separate from that, so they will be uploaded kind of as of when, in between, when relevant. You'll see what I mean in a second when I explain it, but before I get into that, just some updates, working hard on the witch skills stuff, getting those courses up. Our official launch for when the courses will actually be available is going to be in August, but until then you can subscribe to the mailing list. For those of you that don't know what Witch Skills is a online occult university that myself and Attis Dade have founded together, and we have some incredible plans ahead for that. It's going to be unlike any other occult course that you see online, anything that I've ever done before, anyone that I know has ever done before. These courses are going to take place over the course of a kind of the regular like educational year, so there'll be 4 semesters, 8 weeks in each semester, so there's going to be a hell of a lot of content. And what we're aiming to do is give the students some kind of accreditation when they finish the course to so they've got something to kind of show for it. So that's all really exciting. We do currently have some merch on the website, but like I said, the courses will be launched for the first time in August. I do obviously have my finished courses available, my course on Baneful Magic, to hex or not to hex, my courses on Santa Muerte as well. And for those who are interested in the clip-off and also the Tree of Life, myself and Sacred Heart Occult run a learning program for that as well. So all the links to everything I've mentioned are in the description. So into today's video, the video series that I am going to be launching is going to be called Goetia Experiments. And what do I mean by this? I'm basically documenting my real life results that I get from working with Goetic demons. I have some very specific goals that I want to work towards, and obviously I'm going to seek the aid of the Goetic demons to assist me with this. So I thought, why not document it and actually show real life results? So this is going to be, a pretty lengthy video series that takes place over, months, because my goals are kind of long term. So yeah, I feel like it could be a good video series to make to show the progression and to show the kinds of results that you get. So what is going to be my first experiment? I have mentioned in previous videos that I, in my mundane life, I am entering a bodybuilding competition. Now this is something I've wanted to do for a really long time, and it only really became practical to work towards in the last year or so. So now that shit's starting to get quite real with that, I thought, okay, let's make a plan. So I have a little whiteboard down here, and I hope it doesn't reflect. It does reflect on the window, and I also feel like it's going to be showing backwards, so hopefully I can flip the video or something, because otherwise this is just going to make no sense. Unless you can read backwards, you might just have to read backwards, or I can read it to you. It's very much reflecting off the window. So Goetia Experiments, if this was a literal science experiment, this kind of design would be called a correlational design, because we're trying to see the correlation between one variable affecting another. Now, why wouldn't I mean, it's pretty obvious why it wouldn't work as a legitimate scientific experiment, because it's unrealistic to carry out due to the fact that people probably aren't, the general kind of sample of people that you could draw up for an experiment probably wouldn't want to, you know, indulge in occult activities. And, you know, rightfully so, as I've said, the occult is not for everyone, so this would be a very hard thing to carry out with a large sample size. So the sample size is going to be 1, it's going to be myself. So in terms of, you know, if you were to create a research paper on this, the criticism would obviously be, it's literally 1 person, it's 1 sample size. So, or a sample size of 1, rather. So, there's that. Also, there's only 1 experimental condition here, because I'm only carrying out, the condition A, which is me competing with the assistance of Goetic demons. I'm not going to compete without it. I could, but that, you know, if it does turn out to be a less favourable result, I've then, you know, kind of wasted a bit of money there. You know, these competitions are fucking expensive, so there's also nothing to compare it to. And, you know, the kind of logical person would say that, you know, I either, you know, if I do well, that I got lucky, or I just worked really hard, which, you know, I am working really hard towards it. That is a must. The Goetic demons aren't going to do anything if I'm not working hard, so they could say, oh, it's just, you know, your own hard work. But, you know, I have my obstacles. I have my obstacles, which are, I'm feeling like this whiteboard is a bit futile at this point, so I might as well just read off of it, because if it's backwards, you don't know what it's fucking on about, and it's also reflecting off the window, which pissed me off. So, let's go over, first of all, let's talk about my hypothesis for this experiment. So my hypothesis is that working with Goetic demons will lead to a more favourable outcome than not doing so, than not working with Goetic demons. Now, I don't, like I said, there's not a condition B where I'm doing it without it to compare it to. So, you know, it's kind of just like, you know, take what you want from that, but ultimately this is the only way this experiment can be done. So, let's go over my personal obstacles first of all. I mentioned in a previous video, I had a back injury fairly recently. It has improved a hell of a lot, and I'm in virtually no pain these days. Some days a little bit if I've just done something weird or just been overactive, then it can kind of flare up, but my injury is a lot better. However, what I don't want is for this to flare up again 6 weeks away from my competition. Or like, you know, even worse, 2 weeks, or, you know, when there's not enough time for me to recover and sort it out. So I need to put some preventative measures in place here. What can I do? I can do some healing work and to, you know, help maintain my strength. So I might seek the assistance of someone like Marbus for this. Speaking of Marbus, another thing that Marbus is very helpful with is shapeshifting, which is why I work with him a lot with clients when they want to change their body in some way, if they want to lose weight, because I get amazing results from that. Now, with Marbus, he might have a little bit of a different interest with that when it comes to me personally, because of my history with weight loss, which has been very unhealthy in the past and disordered. That's all you need to know about that. So he might have a little bit of, because, you know, this working relationship I have with Marbus, the priority is kind of like my healing and my shadow work, which is more internal. And if that kind of weight loss isn't really in line with that, then it's, you know, might not kind of go the way that I want it to. However, when it comes to shape-shifting, I can ask of him to make me become an ideal shape that I want. Say, for example, I want my shoulders to be bigger, or I want my glutes to look a bit bigger. I can ask him for help with that. Now, this brings me on to glamour magic as well. Glamour magic will be something that I probably end up doing the night before and on the show day, because I want it to be, you know, on me throughout. So that's another thing. The next kind of obstacle that I have is probably like anxiety related. So this is kind of in two different ways. So leading up to something, or like for me personally, when I'm aiming towards something and then it becomes real and it becomes, you know, it's getting closer and closer, I start getting this really awful imposter syndrome. I'm like, who the fuck do I think I am? What the fuck am I doing? I should just not be doing this. Who do I think I am? I can't do this. So that's one thing I need to get over, which, you know, I am kind of just working on like by myself. But yeah, I might need a little bit of a push with that one. Also anxiety on the show day. This is my first competition. I'm going to be shitting myself. And I don't know how I'm going to be on stage. I don't know if I'm going to, you know, be really confident, or if I'm just going to like forget all my poses and not know what the fuck I'm doing. So, you know, I have these very kind of negative scenarios going through my head about that currently, and I also don't want to fuck up on the show day. So I need to do some stuff to increase my confidence and reduce my stress and anxiety. Now, who could I work with for that? I could also work with Marvis for that. I could work with Astaroth. I could work with Belial. Although when it comes to Belial, I feel like something that's a bit more fitting for him, because I feel like with anxiety, he's just gonna be like, stop being a little bitch and just do your thing. However, when it comes to the discipline is another thing. It's not that I'm not disciplined, because I am. It's more so maintaining that discipline, because things are going to get harder and harder and harder as this competition gets closer, because I'm going to be having less food, I'm going to be doing more and more cardio. The cardio is already fucking killing me. Like with me, I'm quite happy to lift weights for 2 hours, but ask me to do 20 minutes of cardio, I'll be like, fuck off. But yeah, my cardio is now increased to half an hour at the end of my workouts, and I don't want to fucking do it. So but you know, I'm going to, because I have the discipline, but I don't want my discipline to wane as I kind of start to feel weaker in my body because of less food, less fat, and just generally kind of hating life, because I will at that point, because I'll be very hungry. And you know, with that is also the endurance as well. I need to be able to endure difficult conditions in which I'm placing my body under. This is a very demanding thing to put your body through. You know, it's not healthy. It's really not healthy, essentially. Bodybuilding is not healthy. You know, you see what they look like on stage. They look like that for a fucking day. It's a year of hard work to look like that for a day, right? I don't know why I'm sounding cynical about it, because I'm literally doing it. But it's quite laughable, really, isn't it? Because it's just like, you know, wow, I'm gonna look amazing, and then yeah, it's literally a day. It's literally a day. So yeah, it's not fucking healthy. You cannot maintain what you look like on your competition day, like for longer than that day, because what you see are people that have not drunk water, they have not eaten. They are fucking starving and just like crazy dehydrated. They probably all have the worst fucking headache when they're up there. You can't maintain that. So yeah, that's the thing as well. It's enduring that horrible kind of bit that I have to put my body through, where I'm just gonna be starving and want to shove my face into a huge pile of donuts. So that's kind of all like the non-obvious things. The more obvious things are obviously success and winning, right? You know, it would be great if I did well in this competition, if I got placed, because then that means I can compete in the national championships as well, rather than just a regional competition. Because, you know, I'm quite serious about this. I'm not doing it as a hobby. Like, you know, I do want to go pro with this. I do want to have something to show for it, and I do, you know, maybe on the side of being an occultist, kind of have a normal job of coaching other people. So you know, we'll see where that goes, but that's kind of the plan that I've got in my head. So, you know, winning this or at least getting placed, and when I say placed, it means in the top 3, right? So being placed is really important to me for this. It's something I kind of need in order to progress further. So who am I going to work with for success winning? There are several Goetic demons that can be helpful with this kind of thing. King Payman comes to mind, just as an example. I obviously haven't planned this out just yet. I'm reading what, you know, the general plan is, and then as these videos progress and I'm documenting what I'm doing, you'll see exactly kind of like what I'm doing. And another thing as well is money, right? Like I said, this shit is expensive. I've spent a lot of money on coaching. My outfit, it's a bikini, that was like 300 and something. Then you got to get the shoes, and you've got to pay for your tan, because it's not just any fake tan, it's special fucking bodybuilding tan. I've got to stay at the hotel the night before, so I've got to pay for that. And you know, if you want your photos and videography done professionally, you've got to pay for that as well. You've got to pay for your hair and makeup. So it's like, yeah, I've got the money to do it, but don't know, you know, if I want to carry on competing, it's going to be an expensive fucking thing to do. So yeah, maybe some money spells would be helpful as well at this point. Specifically probably with the mercurial demons, so maybe Valak, maybe Seer, or Siri, because when I say mercurial, they usually kind of come through quite quick, and whenever I work with Valak for money stuff on behalf of myself or clients, it's usually when myself or clients want kind of like a specific amount for a specific thing. You know, for example, if they want a new car, or they have like a bill that they need to pay. I don't really work with Valak for anything like long-term wealth, because that's just usually how he works, and it's kind of the best way in which he works. So what are the next steps here? Scheduling it in. I also want to add that I don't want to add too many Goetic demons to this situation. Kind of want to limit myself to about 4, maybe 3, because I don't want this to be fucking overkill. And so yeah, the next step is to schedule it all in, and I'll schedule it in and obviously document what I'm doing along the way, and then obviously in X amount of months time, I can't tell you when it is, because obviously this is the internet and people are weird, so I can't tell you when it is or where it, fuck no, I'm not telling anyone where it is, but X amount of months time, you will see what result comes from this, and yeah, and then I will possibly do another Goetia experiment. I also want to work on other things, like my fear of flying, which is just awful. So yeah, just things like that that I want to start documenting, because I thought it was a cool idea. So anyway, I'm going to leave that here for today. Like I said, regular uploads will continue. The updates on this will just be like ad hoc. So you know, if you're not interested in this at all, don't worry, my channel isn't just going to be this from now on. I'll still do my regular, like, normal uploads. So yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.